All right, our next type of problems we're going to talk about are compound interest. Now, there is a compound interest formula on the formula sheet. However, when I went through the Georgia resources, I didn't see any compound interest questions. So we are going to talk about compound interest since it's on the formula sheet, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so first, what does the formula mean? And I really liked this graphic. Thank you, BYJU, whatever you are. The A is how much money you have. P is the principal. This is usually the starting value. Now, unlike regular interest where it's like the IPRT or whatever, basically this is like you could get money like 2 times a year or 3 times a year. 2 times a year would be semi-annually. Quarterly would be 4 times a year. So this is why the formula is a little different. Instead of us just adding the rate, we also have to divide it by the number of times in a year that it goes up. So it's the rate divided by how many times it goes up in a year. And then we're going to put that n in one more time for the number of times and then the number of years. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at number 8. And I have the formula up just in case, but we'll see if it makes sense without using the calculator. Okay, so the amount is the initial value P. So our initial value is $575.75. Then I'm just literally copying it from the formula. So it says, is invested in a savings account with an APR of 12%. Remember, anytime we have percent, we have to convert it to a decimal. So that's 0.12. Then it says it compounds monthly. Well, how many months are in a year? 12. So this 12 is going to go down here for my N, as well as up here for my N as part of the NT. What is the future value of the account in 5 years? So now I'm going to multiply this by 5. So we're just matching up which one of those equations match. Well, here all of these have 575.75. Here, this one is the closest because it's got the 0.12 over 12. It's not going to be this one because this is they added it first and divided the whole thing by 12. That's not what you're doing. The only thing that gets divided by how many times a year it happens is the rate. So right away, it can't be any of these because those, they just added it up. They didn't do the division piece. So that's why it has to be choice A. And where did they get 60 from? 12 times 5 is 60. Let's look at another example. Suppose that the principal invested in the account is P. So we're just going to use the formula right from the formula sheet, but this time we're going to substitute. So the principal is P, so that stays the same. I don't know why I put a plus sign there. Then I've got my parentheses, the 1 plus. It says the interest rate is I%, so I'm just going to put the letter I instead of R because I stands for whatever the rate is. And then it says compounded quarterly. Well, how many quarters are in a dollar? 4. So compound, how many quarters are in a football game? 4. So 4 is my N value. And it wants to know the value in 10 years, so I'm going to multiply this by 10. So I'm left with the P, 1 plus, the I over 4, and then 4 times 10 is 40. So my answer is letter C. And we didn't even need the calculator for that one.